Imagine this nightmare scenario. You're walking down the street with your dog on your daily walk. All of a sudden, they pull really hard in one direction, which makes them slip out of their collar and their leash, and now they're off leash. They're running toward a busy street in your neighborhood. There's cars coming. You start saying their name. You start telling them to come back to you. Your dog doesn't stop. This terrifying moment is every dog owner's worst fear. In today's video, we're tackling the one command that could literally save your dog's life. That's going to be a reliable recall. Stick around to learn how to get your dog to come back to you every single time, no matter the distraction. Our first step to teaching a good come command is going to be focusing on building up good eye contact. Now, we do have a lot of detailed videos on how to do this in detail on our focus building playlist on the channel. Okay, but what you're gonna do, you're gonna have your dog, you're gonna have a leash, you're gonna have a collar on them, and then you're gonna have a bait bag with your food rewards, okay? Now, what you're looking for is for your dog to give you eye contact, volunteer eye contact to you. Once they do that, you can say good, you can reward them, but we're just gonna wait for her to give us eye contact. Good. Once we get eye contact, we say good, we give her a reward. We take a couple steps. All right, so again, we wait for her. We want her to want to give us eye contact. Good. As soon as she gives it to us, I say good, I give her a food reward. I move again. All right. Good. She's looking at me as she walks. I say good, reward, move again. Okay? Doesn't matter if there's something going on. Good, that's freaking her out. Like right now, she's a little bit nervous with the camera staring at her, but she's doing a great job of volunteering eye contact. So you want to take your time with this, do several sessions of this, build up the eye contact because it's very important for the next thing we have to do. All right, the next thing we have to do once we have good eye contact established is we want to start luring our behavior, and our behavior is coming to us, all right? So what we do in this case, we go ahead and put some food in our hand. Because we've already been backing up, that first step we already showed you is already helping us in this situation. So all we're gonna do, we're gonna show the food to her nose, we're gonna back up with the food, and just whenever she gets close to us, we're gonna say good and reward. I like to stop right before I do that. So what I do is I get the food in my hand, I show her the food, I back up, I stop, good, reward. All right, now what we're gonna do is we're setting ourselves up for the next thing we're gonna be doing after this, which is we're gonna start introducing the leash as a requirement to move to me. So I like to still use a lure for this, all right? And notice we're still within 6 feet of our dog. So all I do is I gentle pull on the leash to my lure, and then once she gets to me, I say good and reward, okay? So right here, gentle pull on the leash to my lure. I stop just like I did before, good and reward. Repetitions of this. Watch here real closely. Pull on the leash, to my lure, good, reward whenever she gets close to me. If you want to do the sit, you have her sit. All right, so here's a quick recap on all the steps we've covered up to this point, which are very important for our next couple of steps, all right? First of all, we've got our eye contact. Even though she's laying down, I can say good and reward right here. Our next thing is gonna be that lure. So notice I just show her the food, I lure her to me. If I want her to just stop when she gets to me, I just say good. If I want her to sit, when she gets to me, I just lure right here, lure her into a sit. Then the third thing is gonna be pulling on that leash gently to initiate the lure. So right here, good. All right, so our next step is going to involve using a remote collar. You wanna make sure you're getting a quality remote collar system that's properly designed. Don't go cheap on this because the cheap remote collar systems don't work properly. This works like a TENS unit. We have lots of information about remote collars on our channel already, including very detailed sessions that I've done with other clients on how we're going to actually condition the remote collar. So today I'm going to show you how to condition this specifically for a come command, but if you're looking for overall remote collar conditioning, make sure you check out those videos on our channel. But this is what it looks like, okay? You're going to put it on your dog. You're going to have them wear it for at least 24 hours before you do this next step. All right, so what we have to do first with the remote collar, basically we're going to condition the remote collar to equal the leash in your dog's head, okay? So I'm gonna give you a real quick step on how to do that. First thing we have to do, we have to find the lowest level that our dog can actually feel, all right? Every dog's gonna be a little bit different, but you start off at level 1, all right? All you're gonna do once you hit level 1 is you're just gonna initiate a sensation on the remote collar. You're looking for your dog to show you some kind of behavior that they felt that. Typically they're gonna look down, they're gonna look to the side, something like that. So I'm going to level 2 now. Okay, you also don't want your dog to be aware of the remote in your hand, which is why you see me putting it behind you right here. I'm just gonna keep moving around, okay, as we do this. Good. Level 4. Okay, see how she looks to the side? That's an indicator that she feels it at level 4. All right, notice she's not having any adverse reaction or anything. We're just using the lowest level that she can feel at any point in time, okay? So I typically, one of the ways I like to set this up, I like having the leash in my right hand. I am right-handed. I like having the remote in my right hand because my left hand I'd be using for my food rewards, okay? So again, remote collar has to come first. So I hit the button, use the leash, start backing up. Notice how she's kind of frozen right here in a down stay. I'm gonna repeat the sequence. Hit the button, use the leash, she starts moving to me. I back up, I've got my lure, I stop, I say good, I reward, okay? And again, you're not gonna have a camera following you around like we do, so your dog shouldn't be getting a little bit weirded out by the camera. The important thing is that you understand the sequence before you go to the next step, because if you don't do this sequence enough repetitions and you prematurely go to your next step, you could actually be working against yourself, okay? Your dog has to understand that the sensation from the remote collar is a leash, okay? It has to equate an invisible leash in their brain. So I would say at this point, you are required to do this for multiple days before you move on to your next step. All right guys, for our last couple steps, I've got another dog here with more finished come behavior so you can more clearly see them. But our next step is gonna be using a longer leash, what we call a long line, which is this right here. This is 15 feet long. You can get them longer if you want to. 15 feet's generally gonna be relatively good. So I try to make this as natural as possible. So what I do is I start moving around. Once my dog starts moving away from me, that's when I'm going to initiate them to come to me, okay? So right here, Georgia, come. Good. Once they come to me, whether they just stand or whether they sit, whatever you have them doing, I like rewarding them for that. So right here, I'll just go ahead and demonstrate with the remote collar. Come. Good. Good girl. So notice right before I initiate the come, I use the remote collar to help solidify that communication even more, right? And the reason why this is so important to do is because when you hit that emergency situation, you want to make sure you've gone through this with enough clarity that when you are in an emergency situation, your dog does know what to do, okay? If she's checking in like this, I'm just going to ignore her for this type of session because I want to promote moving away from me. Come. Good. So notice I do that remote collar right before I say come. If she was not coming to me, or maybe she went the opposite direction, that's where I would use that leash tug to solidify that remote collar communication means return to me. All right, so our final step is gonna be proofing the behavior. So what we wanna do, we wanna get our dog somewhere that they're relatively comfortable. This could be your yard, it could be a park that you go to. You want them moving away from you, and you're randomly just gonna call them back to you, all right? And you're gonna use your remote collar as needed if they're not returning to you, okay? So if we're just kind of hanging out, Georgia, free. So we're letting our dog move around freely in a place that they're relatively comfortable, right? And then whenever we are ready, we'll just start doing this type of repetition where we call them to us, okay? So we'll kind of let her move off here. Georgia, come. Good. Notice she didn't come right to me, so I know. Right here, no. Turn up your level a little bit, nope. 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 Good. When she returns, I say good, I reward, okay. Let her move away again. So this is gonna be the part where you're kind of slowly increasing the remote collar level as you need to, because you need to make sure that when you're in that emergency situation that they will come to you. That's what the whole reason why we did this training with the remote collar. Georgia, come. So we say come, she immediately starts moving to me. Good. When she gets to me, I can reward. Now, as you, okay, free. As you're finishing up this step in your training, you're then going to start to reduce your rewards and use your rewards more randomly. So right here, we're about to call her. Georgie, come. Notice as soon as I say come, she starts that turnaround, starts heading back to me. I'm in motion right now, so all I want for her is to like come to me, remain with me. Okay, free. Walk off, okay? So we're gonna go back this way. Notice how she's keeping tabs on me, she's moving back, okay? So that's gonna be how we proof it. Again, you wanna use an area that your dog is relatively comfortable to proof this, all right? And before you get to this point, you've gotta make sure that they're coming to you properly on that leash and long line with the remote collar sensation before you get into this proofing.